The Wappinger Central School District has been in the process of applying to use Smart Schools Bond Act funds to improve the physical security of the schools in the district for more than a year. Wappinger Central School District has received all but the final New York State Department of Education approvals to add new secure vestibules to 13 schools attended by 10,090 kindergarten through 12th grade students. This last step is the expenditure review, which is largely pro forma. The paperwork that can help ensure the safety of Wappinger students sits on the desk of one of the bureaucrats in the New York State Department of Education building in Albany. Unfortunately, the state education bureaucracy has no sense of urgency even when it comes to protecting our children. Steve McNally, the State Education Department's Office of Educational Management, makes excuses about the manpower issues and accepts the delays. He told the district in a recent email, "You are in expenditure review as of last June. And the one staff member we have doing that is working on November of 2016. Rather than try to improve the process, McNally told the district it will likely be some time before you are reviewed and hopefully approved. Incredibly, the Department of Education Legislative Liaison, Michelle Newman, was non-committal when Lalor asked if she agreed that the security of schools should be a higher priority than buying tablets for students when discussing the school technology bond funding. For days, the Albany bureaucrats ignored Lalor's calls and emails. But it was more difficult to ignore Lalor when he showed up at the palatial Department of Education offices in Albany.
I'm across the street from the New York State Capitol. I'm in front of the beautiful, gigantic New York State Department of Education building. I have an issue with the New York State Department of Education bureaucracy. There is a school system in New York, in our district, that needs security upgrades. They have the funding for the security upgrades, and they've gotten a series of approvals, and they're waiting for the final approval to provide security for 10,000 students, in fact, more than 10,000 students. And this security for students in our area is held up by bureaucratic nonsense.
And when this program was added on,
Can you explain why this step is necessary?
It is a priority, but why what step is necessary?
This final step says what?
To ensure that the money that school districts are providing, the clarity on the money that specific
buying
expenditures.
Things that they're allowed to buy?
Correct, with taxpayer money.
Is there any doubt that a security vestibule is not authorized?
They need to be doing it in a way that's.
What does that mean?
They need to be contracting and spending the right amount of money. Again, I'm not in facilities.
Right.
Those are the people that have the expertise.
I also didn't ask to talk to you because I want the people actually.
Well, if you have specific questions that we can answer, I can do that for you that aren't specific to the actual application.
If they're buying tablets for their students, then that's all well and good, but these shouldn't be as high a priority as security, right?
Well, under the current circumstances,
I mean, these are.
We understand that that's the goal. So prioritization of applications.
Yeah, and also the number of students impacted. Tablets for 100 kids can't be as important as school security for 10,000. That would be illogical.
So I will relay that. What else can I get for you?
I want to know if there's a way that they can pull this and approve it. My understanding is, and I have a very good relationship with the school district and the deputy superintendent that I talked to, his understanding this is largely pro forma, that it's not likely. Is it likely that this causes a delay or more?
That what causes a delay?
That this last step that we're waiting for, the magic step.
There are lots of school districts that get to the expenditure review and we find out that the application is not good enough. The information that's provided is not good enough.
Roughly how many? Is it 50%, 10%?
Do you want me to find out and get you an exact number?
Yeah, and I want these questions answered, but really, I just think common sense dictates we have a security issue impacting a large number of people, a large number of kids.
And again, I will raise that up, but you can feel free to write a letter to the commissioner instead of reaching out directly to staff. And
well, that was
get you a formal response
I reached out
on
to
that.
that particular person because he's interfacing with the school district itself.
Right. I understand why you were reaching out to him, but what I'm saying is if you're trying to change department policy, one of the methods, again, I will take your concern and raise it up. You're not the only one raising this concern. And another method for you would be to write a letter directly to the commissioner.
We've seen in recent weeks that the bureaucracy fails often, and we're not going to let it fail in this case. A piece of paper, a series of piece of papers is on a desk in this building here. Someone needs to review them and sign off on them as the final piece of approval for these security upgrades to protect 10,000 students, and they're not willing to do it. I came across today, I called the bureaucrat that we're dealing with, and security called up, and we thought the bureaucrats were going to come down and deal with us, and instead they sent us a very nice but not very helpful government relations person who couldn't answer our basic questions.
So it is something that we're, talking about and raising up with the, to the commissioner. Again, I will let her know that
what's her response?
I don't have one yet.
Has one not been
So,
given, or just?
I don't have one yet.
You haven't.
So we will continue to have those conversations. I will let her know that you came in today. Again, if you want to send her a letter to make sure, she hears she's not in here today in the building.
I'm sure there are a list of projects that need to be approved, but I'm sure there are not a list on that list. There are not very many projects that will protect 10,000 students and keep them secure. I don't think so. The Department of Education needs to prioritize what really matters and get those things out. Sure, if some students need to get tablets or something, that I guess is somewhere on the priority chain, but we're talking about the safety and security of 10,000 students in Dutchess County, and the people in this building are not willing to go through the stack of papers, pull them out, do this review, which my understanding is a pro forma review, and make sure our kids are on the path to getting the safest schools possible.
Lalor is asking his constituents to let their voice be heard by calling or emailing Steve McNally of the State Department of Education's Office of Educational Management at 518-474-6541, or emailing stephen.mcnally@nysed.gov and tell him to get his priorities in order and put school security first.